Hey, how's is everyone doing today? Hey, everybody, how's it going? Heather, how are you?
Did you have any trouble getting those words out of your mouth? I think you might have.
No, not at all. No,
How
it's
am I
been,
doing? If you'd asked me 2 minutes ago, I would have said, ah! But now I'm great. How are you?
I'm well.
I
This is
think,
what's cool about tech
yeah, yeah. I was
and
going to say,
tinkering
I
with it.
think, I think today's show's topic is what could go wrong when you're live streaming. Oh wait, we did that show already.
Or right before you're about to go live, right?
Yeah,
That's more like it.
that's right.
Oh my
That's right.
goodness.
No, 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 no.
As usual.
Today's topic
Mhm.
is a totally different topic. So
Before we get to that though, where are you
yes.
from? Country, city, state? I am from. That's not where I'm from. It's where I am right now. Let's just put
Oh,
it
so
down.
where are you from? You never tell us where you're from. You say where you are. So where are you from?
I am from Williamsport, Pennsylvania, which is the home of Little League Baseball. That's where Little League Baseball started. So that's actually
There you
where
go.
I am
There you go.
from. So, but that ain't where I'm from right now.
No,
I'm a
it
little
ain't where you
further south.
from's at the
That's
moment.
right. That's right. I'm a little
That's
further
interesting.
south.
I am actually where I am from.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
absolutely cool.
Yeah.
That is
I
neat.
came back. I came back.
Same town? Just curious. Same town?
Well, would you count like where you were born as where you're from? Because like I mean,
Yeah.
so I'm in the
It's a
Phoenix
good question.
Valley of Arizona, right? So
Okay.
almost 100 years ago when I was born, Phoenix Valley was like, the main center of Arizona
Right.
and
Right.
everything in it.
Wow.
Mesa, Gilbert,
Okay. So
Phoenix,
all of
all
that was
that.
considered that. Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool.
So you'd just
I
say
don't
you were
know.
from the
I don't know what
Phoenix
the rules
area,
are.
but
I don't know
yeah,
who
I
wrote
don't
the rule
either.
book. I don't know who wrote the
I
rule
don't
book, so
either.
I'm not sure.
Look at
I
this
don't
from
know.
Russ, home of Little League Baseball. Been there, done that.
That is true. I actually saw him there,
You met
and
him
we
there
we
in
done that. That's
person.
right.
All right, so this
I
is
got
from
photos to
Chris and
prove it.
Jim. I say it's where you went to high school. All right, well, that would be
Oh,
Mesa. But I'm not going to
okay.
tell you which high school because I don't think I
Yeah,
want
there's
anybody
records there.
stalking me like that. Yeah,
There's records
exactly.
there. That's right.
That's exactly right. They're in Fort
Yes.
Lauderdale. They're currently in Fort Lauderdale, right? They're home,
Nice.
right?
I'm glad they made it. Glad they made it because I
We
know it
got
was an issue for a while.
Doug.
Charleston. Yep.
That's right.
Actually, it's not just Charleston.
Oh.
It's actually, yeah, I think he's in Mount Pleasant, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay. All right.
Which is across the bridge. You got to go across the bridge. It's a beautiful
Gotcha.
bridge, by the way. They just redid it. So, Low Country, Niagara Falls. Okay. On the Canada side, there are two sides to that as well.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. We got Ron in the house. It's
Coming.
raining and all snow is gone.
That's
There
no
you go.
fun. If you're gonna have a winter, you want it with snow.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
can we get that
Yes.
snow back for him? The other side of town, I was born in L. Okay.
Yeah. So he's
I'll
on the
take your
other
word
side of
for it.
town that he was born in. So yeah.
Okay. All right. I hear you.
All right.
Which is cool. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Hey, what are we going
Yep.
to talk about today?
Well,
I
today
hear you right now.
do you hear me? That's
I do.
funny that you hear me because today's show is about the audio equipment that you and I use, and we want to hear from the audience what audio equipment they use. So, what am I talking about when I say audio equipment?
Yeah. And
Great
why?
question, right?
Right?
Yes.
Why?
And
Why do you use
yes,
it? Okay,
and we're
go
going to go
ahead.
into why. And I would also like to talk about some of the pros and cons, like kind of the why, but also the pros and cons of that. So,
Yeah, I like that.
So yeah, let's talk
Like
about
right now,
that.
I'm not even listening to you. I'm just jamming to something. I got some music playing, so I'm good.
Man, I can relate. I do most of the shows we do with music in my ears, and it's the only way I can get through it sometimes. But anyway,
I promise you, it ain't me singing. I can
No.
promise you that.
no.
I can
Anyway,
promise you that.
so so do you want to start with what audio equipment you use, or do you want
Let's
me to
do
start
that.
with
You
what
want
I
to do
do?
that?
Yeah, let's do it with yours. Yeah.
All right, here we go. I'm going to come off screen for a second.
I'm going to tell you this while you do that. Doug says Michael will be getting snow on Sunday, so you should be pretty excited about that. All right, so Michael's actually getting his camera set up so that way he can show you kind of behind the scenes, like where things are plugged in and stuff. So this is going to be kind of cool. And we figured out a cool way to do it. I can't wait to show you guys in the backstage pass, those of you community members who join us after the shows. I can't wait to show you how he did this. It was kind of a little workaround so we don't have the horrible echo that can happen when you bring your cell phone into a StreamYard. So whenever you're ready, Michael, I think you are. Yeah, looks like you
I'm
are.
ready.
All right. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and show it.
All right, I think you can hear me too. I don't know if you can.
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay, so this is on a posted on some wood. I'm going to point to it right there. It's actually nailed to some wood, but these are Sennheiser little stands. I'll show you this one first. This one has it without the headset on, and it holds your headset. And I have two of them, if you notice.
Okay, so wait a minute. These are the headset stands that you buy with your headsets. You have them nailed to a wooden frame in your studio there. Okay, all right,
Correct.
I'm following. Okay.
Yep. And so that's what the stand looks like. This is what it looks like with a second headset. A lot of times when I have my son on or my wife and we're in a Zoom and we wanted to both listen, this is my way of doing that. Now, what's interesting, you can kind of see there's a Y connector. This is just black and red wires that come in. This is what it requires. And it goes straight into, I believe it's a 3.55 millimeter. Is that right? So into my sound on the front of my computer.
Yeah. So you have both of those headset stands plugged into that. That's what you're doing.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. I get it.
Because it doesn't do USB. It does it straight to this. I mean, I guess I could get a converter and take it into USB, but this is the way I chose to do it.
No, this makes sense. No, this makes sense.
And then I just wired it off. I just wired it off into two sets of them. And then did that. So that's what I use for my sound. That's just for me and my speaker. Now I'm going to switch back. This
is for you to hear, right? That's what you're saying.
Correct. Okay. All right.
Okay. So that makes total sense. And then you use a microphone. You're not actually using like a headset that has a mic as a part of it. You're using the headphones to hear.
A freestanding mic is what I use. Yes, it's a Shure microphone. Do you want me to? I can probably show you the box.
Yeah, that would be good. I think people would like to see that.
Okay, so Terry Lee Britton, a friend of ours, told me that getting a DS or a DLR, SLR, something, some kind of LR or something.
XLR.
Thank you. XLR. I knew it was a letter. I couldn't remember the letter. But this is how I do this. And those XLR go into this here, into these things. So it's an XLR mic that goes into this first. This is a Focusrite Scarlett 2i2, which in turn lets this mic, which is an XLR mic versus a USB mic. So I'm going to turn it right side up.
That's all right.
Gotta do things upside down. You know me. And this is the mic that I use, and it's a very powerful, strong microphone. And I chose to go that route just because I could. Not that I necessarily needed to, but it was more because I could. So that's the two things that go together. And then the Scarlett up here, this Focusrite, allows me to bring in USB into my computer. So that's how that works. But all the sound and everything goes in here first. So that's kind of the way that's set up. It's kind of like, what do they call that, Heather? When they have the, I know I'm talking away from the mic.
No, it's all right.
What do they call that? What do they call that never mind. I can't remember. I can't remember where I'm trying to go with that. So anyway, that's what I do. That's the process that I use and what I do and what I try to do to make all of that work. So.
Okay. So now I know we're talking specifically about live streaming and what we use for live streaming, but I have to mention this. Your microphone setup with the Scarlett is the same as what we use at church for all of our music.
Way.
Yeah. Coming into our live stream. Isn't that cool?
That is cool.
So then there's one more piece to this puzzle, though. You're not done yet talking about your audio equipment, because all you've mentioned is the sound, and you've mentioned what you use for your microphone and how you bring it into the computer. But actually, there's two things I want to talk about. So you actually sometimes use a lavalier mic too, right? On occasion.
Oh, that's right. Yes, I
Yeah.
do. Gosh, I'm glad you said that. I totally forgot that we were doing that, but I do have that right here, so I can show you that. So yes, I have. You can see right here. It's Samson, I believe it is. Samson. Yep. Yeah, Samson. Yep. This is a lavalier wireless mic that connects. I don't know. Can you see that okay? I was just trying to check and see if you can see that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So, and I bring that in, and that actually is really good sound.
Yeah.
It's not bad at all. I mean, it really does a pretty darn good job.
And it's wireless, and so that you can have the microphone on you when you go walking away from your standalone mic that we see we actually don't see your microphone, right? Can you put your hand up so that we can see where your microphone would be? Like where your
my mic? This is my mic right here.
Yeah, so you had actually I want to address something. You put a sock over your mic, and I wanted to address it because it has nothing to do with sound. Nope. The reason why you have that sock on it. So do you want to share that with them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Here, let me see if I can.
It makes a little bit of noise, so be careful. Be careful. Yeah.
It's green.
Yeah.
I put this green cloth over top of it for the green screen. So when I use my other camera, which I'm using this camera right now, but the other camera that I use, I want to cover that whenever I do green screen. So that's why I put that on there.
Right. Right. I think that's just a fun little trick that I love. And okay, so there's still one more piece to this puzzle. Okay, so we've talked about your two different mics that you use, one of them on occasion and the other one you use all the time, and your headsets or headphones, which are wireless, and you have two for one. There's a specific reason why you have two sets. You didn't, did you even mention that, or did you? And I didn't catch it.
I think I did with my son or my wife. Whenever I have them on, we do a Zoom or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Bring in so they can hear as well, because I don't have a speaker. I have no speaker set up, so I have no way of getting their sound out to everyone.
Interesting. Okay. All right. So okay. So there's still one more piece to this puzzle. I've said it 3 times now, so we have to get to it. What is that? How do you control all of those devices?
Well, let's bring that on, huh? What do you think?
Sounds good.
Let's do it. All right. So let me add this to stream. I use Voicemeeter. This is it right here. Voicemeeter. This is basically, okay, this is what I was trying to say earlier. A soundboard maybe, or whatever they call that.
Yes.
Would that be a good term?
Soundboard is what it is. Yeah.
That's what you see, a physical soundboard where people are doing these little knobs and they're doing all of this fancy stuff and making all these things go and all that kind of stuff. This, I just do it virtually. I do it with a product called Voicemeeter, and I use Voicemeeter Banana. There's actually Voicemeeter, regular Voicemeeter. There's Voicemeeter Potato. There's all kinds of stuff. For whatever reason, they like fruits and vegetables. I'm not sure where they're going.
And banana is the one that you use, and we don't really know why, but that's what you use. Yes.
Yeah. I use banana because I want the 3 inputs and then I want the 2 outputs, but that's a whole nother show.
Gotcha.
But what
you've covered a lot about Voicemeeter, so we're not actually doing a show on Voicemeter.
That's correct.
Okay. All right.
That's correct. I actually do. There is a video out there where Terry Lee Britton was on our show. You can go back and maybe we'll put that link in here, so you could go back and watch that show if you want to learn a little bit more on that. But it's really cool. So that A1 output, that is my headset, and then the other one, the A2. I'm sorry, right here is the A2 is the headset, and then A3 is the other headset. So I have those that come in there, and I can control those. I can control those that way. That's again, a whole nother thing, a whole nother lesson, a whole nother thing, but that's how I bring them in. That's what I use.
Very cool. Jolyn says soundboard equals mixer or mixing board. Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you for the proper terminology, because I just can't remember all.
Yeah. So anyway. I didn't mean to ignore the audience. I was just trying to help direct the conversation a little bit. So let's go to
let's get into them.
Let's go here to Russ says he's using live chat LX3000. That's I assume a headset with similar to mine, where it's got the boom mic more than likely. Andrew says today he's using Wantech, I'm probably saying that wrong, A600 single side headset. So single side, that would be like what I have. No ear on the other
good
side.
Conversation. Yeah, good conversation.
Which we're going to talk about
some
of the positives and negatives of what we use and why. So we'll talk about that. Mike is very excited about your Scarlett.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yes.
cool. John says, for most of what I do, I use the mic from my
Good point.
Logitech webcam and
Good
Crisp
point.
software to manage the noise. So for her, the
Mhm.
mic that's coming from that webcam that's
Mhm.
looking at me right now, and
From
then
this.
instead of voice meter, she's using that
Mhm.
I'm just gonna Crisp software. So that's kind of neat. That's kind of a neat option.
It's a different option, but definitely interesting.
Yeah, she says, although seeing the Scarlet might be fun to do some of my recording of my music with that. Yes, it
Yes.
that is. We actually can make at church. We can actually make an album of our music that we do. Like we have a full
Yeah.
range studio because of that. It's kind of cool. Yes, a mixer. She was giving you your word, and I was not even
I
reading chat.
know.
So,
I know. I know.
um, very cool. Very
Nice.
cool,
See, so
John.
that'd be perfect. All you'd have to do is hook right in. That'd be perfect. Yeah.
And this was I just love that comment. You put a sock over your mic, like it had nothing to do with sound. Yeah. But you're using a different headset, wired versus wireless. They're all
Mhm.
wireless in your world, right?
In
Right?
in my world, yes, it
Yeah.
actually is all wireless. One thing that I don't like, and I've tried, and it depends on your computer, I think, but also, and you and I have had this conversation, this is why we're kind of bringing this up too, is Bluetooth.
Oh, yeah.
It like I tried my Pixel Buds with it, it just doesn't work. It just
No.
doesn't work as well. I think
No.
having the base that plugs into your USB, then having that base and your headset, they're built for one another, and having that wireless is key there, in my opinion.
Yeah,
What do you
so
think?
yeah,
Can we
so we'll
talk to
talk
that?
absolutely. Let's talk about what my equipment is.
Oh,
I'm
let's do
using
yours.
the Sennheiser 8000, I believe it's called. I'm just gonna
Okay.
pop it up real quick. It's BTD 800. Sorry, not 800.
Oh,
And
it's
it's
not 8,000, it's
not
only
8,000.
800.
Sorry, extra zero, my bad. Anyway, it is a single ear. So you see that one
Mhm,
ear on the side
mhm,
and no ear over here. And there was a reason
mhm,
for doing that, and I'll explain that in a minute. I have
mhm.
a microphone that does adjust, and I can swap ears. So if I'm a right ear over left ear person, then I can have it like this. But if I'd prefer it on my left, I can go the other direction, and there's no limit to that. So
Cool.
sometimes your headphones are left and right oriented, and you can't really flop them around. It won't work that way. So just keep that in mind too when you're looking at headsets. Um, and then it has a dongle. It's not, it is Bluetooth capable. So I could hook this up to my iPad, my laptop, my cell phone,
Got it.
and it was created for communication. So it's definitely usable for like, you know, phone calls and things like that. And it does have Bluetooth capability. However, I do not use Bluetooth on my computer because, like Michael was just saying, the
Mhm,
Bluetooth doesn't really
mhm.
work very well. I have it, but it does not work very well. It's very robotic and it's not good. So I use a USB dongle. It's just a little dongle that you can lose very easily, and I plug that
Mhm.
into my USB port, and I use that. And I also have two external speakers. I have a set of speakers that I can turn on and off, and then I also have speakers on one of my monitors. I have three monitors, and one of them has built-in speakers. So typically, I don't use the speakers unless I mean, if I'm in a video call, I would never use the speakers. But
Right, exactly, yeah.
yeah, but if I had somebody here in studio with me who did not have a headset,
Mhm.
then I would use my microphone on the camera, much like Jolin does, and I would use the external speakers. And then we'd probably deal with a little bit of echo every once in a while or some noise cancellation issues, but I wouldn't produce a show that way. But um,
Gotcha.
yeah. So,
Why? Why
well,
one
before
versus 2?
before I do that, I wanted to say that I
Okay.
was using Voice Meter up
Oh,
until
okay.
recently. I quit
Okay.
using Voice Meter because I was experiencing a lot of issues with Voice Meter and the sound cutting off. And I've since quit. And I've gone back and watched some of our older shows to see if
Mhm.
there's a difference. And it's actually much better. So for me personally, Voicemeeter did not improve things, but I don't do all that you do anymore. So that could be, it's just not always necessary, I guess is what I was going to say. So
yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. I'm not saying I like Voicemeeter. It's a free product.
right.
I like being able to control all my sound in one place. I can control all my headsets.
I
can
loved it.
control
Yeah.
all my mics. I control sound coming from my computer. All that can be separated and different. And I can open up, like, I can do this and Zoom. And so I can have those all controlled in a different place when I push it out to wherever. That's why I chose to do that way. It's not for everybody. I get
right.
that.
Totally.
I just
totally.
wanted to have it in one little room, so to speak, or something.
Yeah, and what I loved about it was being able to share my computer sounds when I got some of those
Right.
fancy jingle
Right.
jangles going on in my live streams. But since I'm not doing that anymore, that wasn't necessary. So why not remove it, right? Why
I
a
starred some of
single?
these too, just so you know. I starred some of
Okay,
the comments.
I
So
didn't even.
while it's all going on, that's
Okay,
all right. No,
and
go
I'll
ahead.
go over there.
Yeah.
So why one ear over two ears? The reasoning for that was because at the time of the purchase of this particular headset, I was doing live in-person shows while live streaming the shows. So one thing that happens when you're doing a live in-person show is there's an audience to interact with. Well, when you have two noise canceling headphones on your head, you're going, I'm sorry, what?
What?
So to me, this was a great answer because I could hear what's going on within the online studio as well as whatever's happening in my in-person studio. And so that was the reason why I chose a single headset.
Yeah. And you
I'm
have
out.
had those for a while, haven't you?
I have this
Yeah.
particular set I've had since December of 2017, and it works
Wow.
great. So I think that's a big plus for it. I don't know that this particular headset is still available, but they have definitely different models of it now. So, where is the receiver for the wireless mic?
The receiver.
This is from Ron with Tech for Seniors. So he's talking about the lavalier.
So this goes on my belt, or you're talking about a USB. It's a USB receiver dongle that is on my USB hub is actually where I have it. I have a 15 plug hub, and that is sitting there on it plugged in there. So that's where the receiver is. So it's behind my monitors right here. But I'm going to tell you on this thing, I mean, they build it pretty well. I can go pretty far. I can actually go outside with this. Actually, I can go upstairs. And unfortunately, I can go in the bathroom and you can hear me because I've actually done that by mistake.
Yeah, we don't really want to know that you've done that. But
we don't want to go there. But yeah, so yes, it's very good reception. It carries pretty far on that, so you can go. That's one of the reasons why I went to a lavalier too, was I could keep it on. And you know how a lot of times I'm talking over here, you can't hear me or whatever. So it's one of the reasons why I went to that when I'm doing a lot of stuff, when I'm showing and walking around and doing that kind of thing. That lavalier comes in handy. Good question.
Yeah, it's also good for like outside stuff too, and there's different things you can do to get that. So Jolyn asked, is that wireless? Oh, from the receiver to the laptop. Do you know when this question was asked?
I don't, but if you could clarify, is that wireless? Oh, from the receiver to the laptop.
Maybe, are you talking about this one that I'm using?
Or maybe it was the one I was.
Right,
no,
that's what I'm
wireless.
asking. Yeah. All right.
If it's the XLR one, it's not.
It might have been the XLR that she was asking about, and yeah, it's not
possible.
Okay.
Right. Exactly.
All right. Let's
Next
see.
one.
What you showed us was wired, right? See, I'm having a hard time knowing.
Okay. Yeah, so it's probably just because when we put it. So this right here is definitely wired. There's nothing wireless about this. This is a hard wired microphone. This is the Scarlett that gives you the ability to use an XLR with USB. None of that is wireless. All headsets that I showed are definitely wireless. The headset you're using, Heather, is
wireless. Yeah.
Wireless.
Completely wireless. Yeah.
Okay. So hopefully we
Um,
got those answered on that
yeah,
one.
I
Go
think
ahead.
so. I think so
Yep.
too. So Andrew says, I've used the live chat for years, but now with the hearing aid, they weren't as comfortable as previously. Okay, so he's talking about the headset with the microphone that he had. My
Mm.
situation, I can't use speakers if I can hear it, so can the people in the next room. Yeah, great point. I mean, there's downsides to every option,
For
right?
sure.
Yeah, so you have to decide what is best for you and the options that you're
Mhm.
choosing. So, no, Russ wanted to know about the 2 headsets that you have. So the 2 headsets you have are wireless, but the bases are wired to the computer.
Correct.
I
And
I
that's what
like
all
how
the sign language was.
I was just
The
gonna say, I like
sign
how I interpreted your sign language or vice
Except
versa.
isn't it usually the other person that's interpreting off in the little small window that does
Yeah, but this is not for the hearing impaired. Today's show is not being
'Cause
simulcast
you're gonna
for
be totally confused. If you were
yeah,
going with the hearing
yeah,
impaired
for sure.
person, you're gonna be confused.
John says, I lost the chat, but I was talking about the lavalier, but it's USB dongle. Yes, got your answer.
Mm.
Okay, good, 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 good. That's all we cared
Oh,
about, that you got
awesome.
your answer. So, so talking about the whys we do what we do and the differences. So now that I'm no longer doing live in person and live streaming shows at the same
Mhm.
time, I have no reason for this single mono, ear headphone thing. I would like to have two. Also, like Andrew, hearing impaired as I get older, I'm having
Yeah.
difficulty hearing things. So I really want to be able to hear what's going on my computer a lot better. Even sometimes our show, it's difficult for me with a guest or whatever. All the sound is coming into just one ear, and all the sound from my environment is coming into my other ear. So a lot of times there's just too much for me to differentiate. So I really want a good pair of noise canceling headset with a mic so that I can move around. So we didn't even talk about the moving around mic. You kind of mentioned it with the lavalier, but
I did. Mhm.
with what you do, most of your shows are like this, right? Where it's
Yeah,
sort of
for
a
the most
talking
part,
head
yes.
scenario.
Mhm.
Every once in a while you turn around and go grab something off your shelf, but not often,
That's right. That's right.
right?
Exactly. Yeah,
So,
no, 100%. Yeah.
yeah, and so for me, up until recently, I was doing a lot of activity where my head is actually down like this as I'm working on my desk. And so to have a
Right.
microphone that's pointed up here would not work very well because I would always be looking away from it when I was talking, as well as going over to my shelf to get some supplies and going over to this shelf to get some supplies. So there was a lot of movement in what I was doing. And without having the microphone right here, that audio change would be pretty drastic. And I
Yeah.
really knew I needed to have a microphone right here. And I do want to get back to that. I don't want to, like say, well, this is what we're doing now. So just get a mic like Michael's, but I'm leaning towards it.
Yeah, I hear you. No, I hear you, and I don't know that it's I mean, I don't know that it's 100% better. I don't know that. I
Right.
mean, but it's kinda cool, kind of a little segue for us to go into or get into that we are going to have guests on that are gonna help us with that
Yeah,
because
in
'cause
the
we're
next
coming up
couple
on
of
the end of our
weeks.
show.
Yeah, in the next couple of weeks, we're going to have guests
Mhm.
join us with some expertise on the subject of headsets. So if
Can't
you're
wait.
looking for a new one, you
Gonna be
definitely
excited.
want to stay subscribed to the channel and be here
For
for
sure.
the next couple of shows. So
For sure. I love this too. It puts a little icon there, like, next to Russ's name.
yeah, we talked about
I think
that.
it I
We
think it's
talked
so
about why he
cool.
has that special symbol there.
He is a
Um,
member of my YouTube channel, and thank
that's
you,
right.
Russ, for that. That's
That's
so
right.
awesome. I love it. Thank you for doing that.
And
Um,
I wanna mention this. So Darren has joined
yeah.
us. He says I tinker a lot. So let me just say this: we're tinkering with the YouTube channel membership. So what we're doing is
Mhm.
trying to experiment and see what that YouTube channel membership stuff is about. If you're interested in helping us, click the join button. It's $4.99 a month. So, but that's it. That's all it's about. It's just about tinkering to figure out what it's like, and we're kind of testing the waters to see what it's like
A
for
couple
our
things.
for
Yeah, for
our
our private community as well.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So we want to share with them what it's like to have what's involved in getting it and maintaining it, and all the things you have to do before you set it up and all that kind of thing. And speaking of community
Yeah.
members, you just had her
Yeah.
name up there.
Yep.
Eileen, hi.
Hey, Eileen, how are ya? And Mike says if the setup you have is working, use it as it is. Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Exactly.
And a lot of it depends too on how you go about. Some people are on their Pixelbook or a laptop or coming in through their phone or whatever. There's a lot of different things, a lot of different ways, and a lot of things. One thing I think that is important to sum all this up, I think it is important to have a headpiece, earbud, something just for the environment around you. And more people go live. I know a lot of people are doing Zoom meetings and all different kinds of meetings and doing live streams and all this kind of stuff. I think it's important to have this, in my opinion.
Oh, I agree. I agree. I think one thing that people don't realize is that Zoom, Meet, all these different meeting softwares that are out there for us to utilize and do virtual meetings and stuff have come a long way, and they do have some great software within them to suppress echo and to do a lot of work for you. However, what's happening is the more work that is doing, the harder it is on your computer, the harder it is on your what is happening within the meeting. And sometimes you might have bandwidth issues and that side of thing. And so you'll get some reverb, you'll get some echo anyway, because the software can't quite keep up with it or whatever. But the thing is, the more you can do physically to help it, the less the software has to work. So if you can do that, it's better for both of you. So just keep that in mind.
If you want to wear a hoodie, if you want to wear a hoodie that I can hear everything, no problem with the headset.
You stepped away and I'm like, what the heck is he doing? I mean, does he know he left his screen off? And then you come back like that. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
I had to have some fun with it.
That's fantastic.
Anyway, make sure you get a good hoodie, and you can wear your headset with it too. So there you go.
Michael, where can you get a hoodie like that? I want one.
Look in the description. You'll see where our store is, where you can buy some.
That's right.
Yeah. That's true. Lots of stuff at the same time. That's true.
Yeah, poor Andrew. Poor Andrew. He might be on the wrong headset sometimes and record his video without any noise. All right. I think that's a good show. We did great.
That's good. It is a good one. Yep. Absolutely. Yep. Thank you everybody who participated. If you are coming back and watching this later, you can't. That's part of what we're doing. It's only for community's member now. So community members are the only ones that can watch and replay. It's part of the test that we're doing with the tinkering that we're doing. Channel
memberships and all the stuff that we're doing. Yep, exactly.
Yep. So hopefully you become a community member, a tinkering member. We would love to have you. It'd be great. And join us now. Anybody that is a member, be sure and join us. Come in the backstage pass, because that's where we're going. And thank you, Heather. Good show. Excellent.
Yeah, you too, Michael.
Yep. And we'll see you next week. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. Bye, all.